Have some breaking news we want to tell you about coming into our KSAT newsroom. We told you about it at 5 o'clock. St. Phillips College put out an alert to students and staff that the MLK campus was placed on lockdown.
Our Avery Everett is live at the campus right now. Avery, I know you're still trying to gather some more information, but what are you seeing out there right now?
Well, Myra, Steve, we're here off of South Walters on the east side of St. Phillips College MLK campus, and that's where we're seeing a lot of police blocking off the street between MLK and Maryland. And we're also seeing some of these police officers backing up what appears to be an incident on Stella Street. I'm going to take a step off to the side so you can see exactly what's going on behind me. So like I said, there are police officers from Alamo colleges and also SAPD. We have a KSAT photographer on the other end of this South Walters Street who has a clear perspective of what's going on specifically on Stella Street. It looks like police are investigating this house over here to the left, a white house with green roof. It appears that some police officers in mild tactical gear have weapons and are coming in and out of that building and also coming out in and out of vehicles. So we've reached out to multiple people with the communications department to see what exactly is going on. We haven't yet gotten a response back. What we do know so far is that there has been a transition on the website just from alerts alone from a lockdown to a partial lockdown. So based on the Alamo College's website right now, it says that this campus is in a partial lockdown. Problem is, we don't exactly know what that threshold means. And we asked those questions specifically to those communications spokespeople. We're just awaiting a response back. We're going to continue to be here throughout the rest of the night until we learn more about what exactly is going on. We talked to a neighbor who said that she hadn't heard anything, but she just saw this heavy police presence really appear about an hour to 2 hours ago. Otherwise than that, the Alamo Colleges has said that they have reached out and emailed students, faculty. So if you are on this campus or if you do have some people, there should be an email waiting for you in your inbox. But reporting live for now, I'm Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Avery. Hope to get updates soon. And of course, if things change there, we will take you back live to the scene at St. Phillips College.
Yeah, absolutely. Meantime, we have more breaking news we're covering this evening. It's unfolding right now on the city's northeast side. A man was critically injured there after police say he was shot in his car this afternoon. Yeah,
it all happened on North Foster Road between Wagner High School and Old Seguin Road. To give you a better idea of what we're talking about, our John Paul Barajas at that scene right now. JP, what are police telling you about how this all unfolded?
Steve, Myra, we just got out here about 5 minutes ago, but as you mentioned, one person was shot in the upper body and taken to the hospital in serious condition. But that is about the only thing that SAPD knows at this time. They don't know if that was the only person shot. They don't know how many suspects they're looking for. And they also don't know what caused this shooting. The one thing they could tell us is they found shell casings from multiple guns. And you can see just the numerous shell casings there on the ground. But how many guns were actually fired, they also don't know the answer to that. Now, if you look over to the left a little bit, you can also see at least two windows from this car. They were shot out, and then by that front driver's tire, a pistol was found here. That is believed to be the victim's pistol. Again, a lot of questions that haven't been answered that SAPD is still actively working to address. As soon as we learn more, we'll get that to you. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. To another news now. Was it excessive force? The attorneys for a man shot by police and now paralyzed are arguing it was.
That was the focus in court today in the trial of Celedino Saldana. He was 18 years old in 2022 when he got into a shootout with police. Saldana's attorneys say police fired more than 100 times.
Erica Hernandez shows the videos of that shooting that were played for the jury today. Now, we do want to warn you, these videos are graphic. They may be hard for some to watch.
Don't do it!
On August 5, 2022, Celedino Saldana was a potential suspect in a shooting. When police found him, he refused to stop. After a short chase, Saldana was shot 20 times. Now paralyzed, Saldana sits in a wheelchair as he faces one charge of attempted capital murder of a police officer and 2 charges of aggravated assault of a public servant. The defense says, yes, he did shoot once, but what he got in return was excessive force.
He shoots that one initial time. What do? Shoot towards him almost 100 times. Almost majority of that time he is on the ground on his stomach.
Officer Jose Claire was following Saldana that day. He testified that after Saldana's car hit a median, everything happened so fast.
I got out of my vehicle and I believe I said something along the lines of, don't do it. and I saw a muzzle flash, I heard a gunshot, and next thing I know I was hit in the face with something. With adrenaline, I don't know if I had gotten shot in the face.
After Officer Claire described what happened, 3 videos were shown, 2 from dash cam from 2 units and then 1 from Claire's body cam.
This first video is from Officer Claire's dash cam, and you see the moment Saldana gets out of his car and fires 1 shot. From the second unit, you see the other angle as Officer Claire falls down and then proceeds to shoot. Claire's body cam shows another police officer checking to see if he's okay. Then they move forward, and you could hear them yelling at Saldana multiple times to put his gun down. Officer Claire testified Saldana shot again, and then officers fired again. If Saldana is found guilty, he faces anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
The owner of a local martial arts studio who was arrested in a child sexual assault case is now out of jail on bond. 40-year-old Joseph Rene Caballero is accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl. He's been ordered to stay away from children. It appears his employees in the meantime are keeping business going at the Exception Squad Jiu-Jitsu studio. That school near Culebra and Ingram Roads opened this morning for a summer program. One woman who works nearby says she's canceled her plans to send her son there.
That hurts me. Deep inside, it hurts me more than anything because, even though it's not my daughter, that affects me as a parent.
Parents with children at that school didn't want to talk with us this morning. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office concerned that other students may have been harmed as well. They're encouraging any other potential victims to come forward.
The clock is ticking for the city to hammer out a new deal with the fire union.
Yeah, both sides back at the negotiating table today. Our Garrett Berger's following the progress there. And Garrett, this has an impact on the city budget.
It absolutely does. And the big thing right now is everybody's budget. It's their pay. That's what's the biggest holdup. Here, let's take a look at it right now. This is a graph showing the impact of the various pay proposals from the city. That's the cool colors in the blue, or the cool colors down here, and the fire union's proposals, those are the warm colors up top. You can see how far apart they are. This is just on how it would affect the most rookie firefighters' paychecks. But you can see there's still a big gap. These are the 2 most recent proposals. They're not close. And to make things even more complicated, there's a tie-in to a city proposal about overtime pay. Now, right now, all paid time, including sick days or vacation, counts towards a firefighter hitting the threshold to get paid time and a half for overtime. The city wants to scrap that. They want to make it so only the hours a firefighter is actually on the job count toward hitting the time and a half threshold.
So that is something that we want to make an adjustment, again, just like any other civilian employee or any other employee in USAA or HEB, that you have to physically work your hours and then be eligible for that overtime rate.
The city has said the savings from changing the overtime policy are rolled into a portion of the raises it's offered. So the pay and the overtime, they say, are a package deal.
That makes it infinitely complex, right? So you want us to pay for our own raises, and you put it as a stipulation that that's attached to your wage offer. And our members are saying that's not the right answer.
Might be infinitely complex, but the city doesn't have infinite time. The draft budget's going to be unveiled on August 15th. That's just over 7 weeks away. And the fire department portion of that up in the air until they can hammer out a deal. Deputy City Manager Maria Villagomez hopes they can do that by the end of July. It's not clear how many times both sides will meet before then. Steve, Myra?
All right, we'll follow it. Thanks, Garrett. SAWS customers now under new Stage 3 watering rules. Irrigation system hours are now 5 to 10 in the morning and 9 p.m. to midnight. SAWS changed those hours just last week. The day still depends on the last number of your address, and hand watering is still allowed any time of day. Here's the biggest change under this new Stage 3. A high-use surcharge will apply to residential customers using 20,000 gallons or more during one billing cycle after July 6th.
And, you know, it'd be nice if we didn't have to use the sprinklers, if there's actually some natural rain out there. But, Adam, I don't know if that's in the cards.
No, and you look at today, we had it all far east of town, just isolated splash and dash showers in these blue areas closer to the Gulf coastline. And that's going to be the case daily, I think, the rest of this week and into the weekend. And you see most of that action of the past couple of hours coming to an end, most of it near the Gulf Coast, but sometimes those showers can make it into the Hallettsville, Cuero, Yorktown, Karnes City areas. Locally, we just had the puffy cumulus clouds, couldn't grow tall enough to give us any showers. By 8 o'clock, 90 degrees, 10 o'clock, 87, midnight, we're at 84, more of the same, but African dust paying us a visit for the first time. I'll talk about that in a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Let's check out TransGuide right now. Let's go to I-10 in Frio. And we're looking inbound towards downtown. Usually it's the inbound lanes of I-10, the eastbound lanes that are backed up. But as you can tell, it's the upper deck here in the westbound lanes because of this ongoing construction. It's usually between 1 or 2 lanes that are blocked down. But you can see it's 1 lane today, but people also slowed down getting on to I-10. Again, this is the westbound lanes of I-10 at Frio, the upper deck.
Happening later this week, it is Doc Talk, our series where we take your medical questions to local doctors. To send in a question, just get out your phone, scan this QR code you see right here. Doc Talk airs every Thursday here at 6:30.
Coming up in just a few minutes, an incredible career that spans 4 decades right here in the Alamo City. Tonight at 6:30, we take a look back at the career of the one and only Deo Yato.
The one and only.
Yeah.
After the break, kids from right here in San Antonio are getting some much needed surgery this weekend. And the best part of this, it's free. Up next, how this program works and how you can sign up for the next round.
But first, taking a live look outside, live cam, some African dust making its way to San Antonio for the first time this season. Adam Caskey rejoins us to tell us what that means for the forecast coming up.
There are so many kids who need surgeries, but their families can't afford them. That's where the innovative Fresh Start program comes in.
Yeah, and it's a program that partners with several hospitals in the U.S., and University Hospital is one of them. As Courtney Friedman explains, this weekend, 5 kids will be getting surgeries for free.
These surgeons and their staff change lives every day, but this weekend, they'll be doing it for free.
For me, mission trips are very exciting, and this is a mission trip at home. So we get to stay in our own environment with our own teams.
That mission is called Fresh Start Surgical Gifts, a nonprofit that partners with hospitals to offer kids free surgeries. Saturday will be university's 3rd time participating in just the last year.
So you get to keep them here and watch them and make sure they're recovering well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we keep them in the hospital for as long as they need to.
Dr. Joshua Stone is a pediatric craniofacial surgeon for University Health and UT Health San Antonio, and he volunteers every time.
Cleft palate surgery, we do craniofacial surgery, and we also will reconstruct skull defects.
So I've done a couple of cleft palates, cochlear implants, reconstruction of the ears and stuff like that.
Sandra Diaz-Reyes is a University Hospital surgical services supervisor. She coordinates everything that goes into surgeries, and there's no one who loves volunteering more.
I was like, right away, I'm like, sign me up, I'm there, I'm doing it.
She and Dr. Stone help local kids and some from other countries.
We have a patient that's coming from Mexico. We have a patient this fall that's coming from Honduras, but we have patients coming from Costa Rica, all over.
They'll heal about 5 kids this weekend, knowing their families will walk out without paying a dime.
It's what we all love to do, and so to be able to take care of people is just a phenomenal opportunity.
So if you're watching right now and your child needs surgery, don't hesitate. Go online and fill out the application, and by the next round of this program, they could be lying right here, getting the help that they need. At University Hospital, Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
All right, the heat is on, yes, of course, and that dust has arrived, Adam.
Well, it's soon going to arrive. Yes, it will by Friday night. you'll say the dust has arrived.
Okay.
But
I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to mark my calendar.
Don't worry, I'll remind you. Really, its impacts aren't going to be anything significant. It's not even going to be as thick as the smoke that we had over the weeks past and months past from the annual agricultural burning. Let's get right to our forecast with that dust. Right now, it's over the Atlantic, moving into the Caribbean, but notice by Thursday evening, it works its way deeper into the Gulf of Mexico, closer to Texas. And then by Friday night, early Saturday, we have some of that dust back in the sky. Most of us will just notice a little extra haze in the sky, but also more vibrant sunrises and sunsets. We're not looking at anything thick, and it's not going to be significant, but it's the first dose of the Saharan air layer so far this season. We get it every year coming off of Africa. It gets transported all the way across the Atlantic and here into Texas. We are watching this little area or a little cluster of thunderstorms, a little area of disturbed weather as that heads westward through the Caribbean over the next 5 to 7 days. There's a slight chance of a little more development with that, maybe into the next tropical depression or tropical disturbance as that moves westward. Right now, even if it makes its way into the southern Gulf of Mexico with its moisture and energy, indications are it's not going to be giving us any needed rainfall. We still have the upper level high, Big Blue H, and now it's centered over West Texas, and it's going to move around a little bit. It's going to go west and then push east as we get into the weekend and early next week, but still be influencing our weather enough to really just have the same old conditions day after day after day. And you notice that position of the upper high, and you look at the rainfall potential over the next 7 days, and not a lot over Texas in general. Even the parts of Texas that have been getting good rainfall over the past several months. We're talking Dallas, Waco, East Texas. Even they're not going to see very much. What is interesting, and it's that time of year, is the rainfall potential, western Mexico, all the way into Arizona and New Mexico. It is their monsoon season, and the upper level high actually helps them out and steers Pacific moisture into the desert Southwest. But you look at the percent of normal rainfall over the past 365 days, surplus from Abilene to Dallas to Waco, Houston about average, Tyler a bit of a surplus. We've had 64% of our average rainfall here over the past year. 98, a correction to our high. At 5 o'clock we said 97, and correction now, it's been up 98. That's 5 degrees above average, the record of course being 103. 96 right now, but feeling like 104 when you factor in the humidity. Heat index above 100 up to 108 Stinson, 108 Floresville. And tomorrow's going to be similar, 78 in the morning, 96 in the afternoon, feeling like it's 104 to 108. A few isolated coastal showers, and that's it. Gonzales 94 tomorrow, Uvalde up to 99, and along the Rio Grande triple digits. But otherwise, it's more of the same. Sunshine, fair weather clouds, and mid-90s.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
What will the Spurs do? There are a lot of people that are guessing. But just like last year when most people knew what the Spurs were going to do, they didn't exactly tell anybody. The Spurs are very good about keeping things close to the vest, Mary.
Very good, and especially in this year's draft, it's tough to not know anything because there's a lot of possibilities that the Spurs could pursue in the 2024 draft, and Larry Ramirez will report with more from Brooklyn after the break. Also, breaking news out of College Station a day after a crushing World Series championship loss. It's being reported Jim Schlossnagle is headed to rival Texas. Stay with us.
Sean Elliott, Avery Johnson, big hoop for Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson's splash from the corner with 47 seconds left in regulation would go down in Spurs history forever. Title number 1. It's time for Big Board Sports. The 2024 NBA Draft will tip off tomorrow with the Atlanta Hawks on the clock as holders of the number 1 overall pick. There will be 58 picks in this year's draft, 1 through 30 on night 1 and 31 through 58 on night 2. The San Antonio Spurs and Portland Trailblazers have the most picks in the league with 4 apiece. The Brooklyn Nets are the only team with no picks, which is a little bit ironic, but doesn't mean they can't get in on the action. Joining us now from Brooklyn, New York, live after a long morning of travel with more on the draft is Larry Ramirez.
Yeah, you know what, Mary? It's nothing a little bit of coffee or caffeine cured, right? I feel much better now. So, you know what? It's been in a little over 1 year. How about that? Since the Spurs drafted Victor Wembanyama #1 overall. Okay, there are no aliens in this year's NBA draft, but there are still a lot of talented players to choose from, ones that can certainly help the San Antonio Spurs. And as we know, life is much better for the Spurs now that Victor is a member of the Silver and Black. General Manager Brian Wright is tasked with the job of finding the right pieces to put around Wemby through the draft and or free agency. The Spurs have 4 total picks this year, 2 of those in the first round at 4 and 8, and because of that, rumors are flying about what the Spurs will do, and one possibility is trading both of those top picks to Atlanta for the overall #1 selection. ESPN NBA draft analyst Jeremy Wu talked to Mary about that possibility.
I'm sure they've looked at that possibility of trading up to #1. I think the nature of this year's draft, which is the perception is that it's a little bit weaker at the top. There's not a lot separating the guy you might take at 1 and the guy you might get at 4 or 7. So sort of from that standpoint, if you think that's true, and there's no one who's like the true guy, right? There's no Wembanyama, there's no Zion Williamson, there's no one who's the obvious like shoe in, don't think about it, that's who we're taking. So from that perspective, I think it's appealing to maybe have more than one swing at it, right? Like to get 1 or 2 prospects who you're comfortable with rather than consolidating to go up.
Okay, so the Spurs have a lot of possibilities, and it's going to be awesome to watch it all unfold from here in Brooklyn. Mary, back to you.
Great stuff, Larry. Thank you. The first round of the NBA draft begins tomorrow night at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. It'll be live right here to watch on KSAT 12. The second round is on Thursday. We'll continue to have live reports from Larry from Brooklyn all week. On the heels of Texas A&M's runner-up finish in the Men's College World Series final last night, Jim Schlossnagle is reportedly leaving College Station to become the new head coach at rival Texas. This according to Horns247.com. It was just yesterday Texas announced it was parting ways with its now former head coach David Pierce. Schlossnagle has a $1.35 million buyout that doubles to $2.7 million if he were to take a job in the state of Texas. And with this being a head scratcher, it's also important to know he has a connection to the AD at Texas, and the Longhorns are historically the best baseball team to exist.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Talk about adding to the UT A&M rivalry there.
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mary. Our KSAT Q&A with the mayors coming up next. We're going to talk city business, but also his own Jesse Deo Yato memories. Next. Time now for our KSAT Q&A with San Antonio Mayor Rod Nierenberg. He is joining us today live from his office. Mayor, great to have you. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you, Myra and Steve.
Let's start by talking about the city's Reproductive Justice Fund. I know the City Council has still been having discussions about how exactly that $500,000 would be used. It was something that was set aside last fall that the city would be using potentially, at least part of, to help women get legal out-of-state abortions. Do we know how that money is going to be used? Is that still part of the plan?
It is part of the plan. We don't know exactly which organizations will be delivering those kinds of services or exactly which services, but within the realm of reproductive care and health services for women in San Antonio, we know that there has been dramatic reverberations of the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision, which essentially struck down Roe versus Wade. So there are many women in need of reproductive health care in our community. The City Council heard a briefing from Metro Health last week, and we will be issuing a request for proposals from different organizations to provide various services in that realm. So I can't tell you exactly which organizations will be delivering those services or which services exactly will be utilized, but we set aside in last year's budget $500,000 to deal with this immense gap in healthcare coverage that has been created by, again, the consequences of the Supreme Court's decision. So we'll go forward from here. I'm confident that the city council will make a wise decision and will be led by the health experts in our community about where those funds should go. And hopefully we can serve women in need in our city that have been needs that have been unmet because of those decisions and the closure of health facilities in Texas.
We were just showing some video there of a press conference that you were part of yesterday, video of Planned Parenthood as well. That press conference was about the announcement of a new nonprofit fund through Planned Parenthood to provide services not related to abortion, things like cancer screening, STD screening, things like that. But you were asked at that press conference, could this be part of the Reproductive Justice Fund? You left the door a little bit open there. How could those two things work together?
So Planned Parenthood of South Texas has been an incredible partner delivering essential health care services to women all across the region for many decades. You named some of them: reproductive screenings, cancer screenings, a lot of preventative care, et cetera. And because of facilities that deliver similar care closing as a result of that decision, you've seen organizations like Planned Parenthood have to step up. And so they announced the creation of a new fund where they're going to be delivering those kinds of services. The question was asked, is that kind of fund potentially one of the recipients of the set aside from the city council? I said, potentially, yes. We don't know if they'll apply. But certainly if they do, they'll be strongly considered, I would think, because those are the kinds of services that women need and that are going unmet because of the Supreme Court decision. So it remains to be seen who applies for that fund, which organizations, but needless to say, those kinds of services are the ones that we're looking to be served through this fund.
Quickly, Mr. Mayor, last week, County Judge Peter Sakai said that he would be open to a public-private partnership when it came to a Missions stadium downtown. I know we've talked a lot about the Spurs and whether that's a possibility or not. I know you know that the Missions need a new baseball stadium. I mean, Major League Baseball has made that clear. Have you had any discussions about a public-private partnership that the city would enjoy when it comes to downtown arenas, whether it's for the Spurs or the Missions?
I'm glad to hear the county say that, because that's what's necessary to make sure that the Missions have a new ballpark for the future to remain present here in San Antonio. Again, one of the oldest professional sports franchise in our city, under local ownership now. But Major League Baseball, as we've talked about, has issued new standards with regard to the facilities that house minor league baseball teams, including the Missions. The Missions' current ballpark does not meet those standards. So it shouldn't be any surprise. It shouldn't be any secret, because we've talked about it many times. I have had discussions with the Missions about what a new ballpark could look like and what would be required from the city. We're continuing to have those discussions, the city manager and myself, and we've updated the city council. Those conversations are ongoing, and they have been productive. And so I do anticipate that we will have, the semblance of an agreement very soon that we can begin to discuss, and the city council can consider. So yes, I'm glad that the county has indicated they are doing the same thing, and I look forward to a very bright future of the Missions in San Antonio. And once we have, again, good confidence that we've got a deal that we can begin to deliberate in public, then we'll go ahead and indicate to Major League Baseball that we are going to get a deal done and make sure that the Missions are here to stay.
Mayor, before we let you go, you know that we are saying goodbye to a legend in San Antonio, our own Jessie Deo Yato. We have so many memories of our own, but we understand that you have one as well of one of the first times that she interviewed you.
Yeah, I do. So Jessie has been one of the friendliest people ever in the reporting circles of San Antonio. And as you might know, politics and reporting sometimes creates tension. But Jessie has handled that with just immense grace and a lot of friendship. And so we're going to miss her. My memory of Jessie really was in my very first campaign, when my opponent's team launched a effort to besmirch me, I guess you could say. and Jesse was the first one to report on it, and he debunked all of it and fact checked it and everything, and it was just great reporting. But more than that, a friendly face on what can be a lonely time during a candidate's first campaign. So, gonna miss Jesse. She was a quality, energetic reporter and always did it the right way.
She sure did.
She's over to the side smiling right now, Mr. Mayor. So I appreciate
Thank you so
saying
much,
that.
Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely. All of us owe her a debt of gratitude. Mr. Mayor, thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
You as well. We'll be right back.
For 40 years, our very own Deo Yato has appeared on our screens, covering stories and being the voice for so many who often didn't have one.
From the border to all sides of San Antonio, she has been a constant in our newsroom, a true journalism legend, especially to Latinas.
Erica Hernandez, who sits next to Jessie in the newsroom, has developed a special bond with her, got to speak with Jessie about her career here at KSAT.
This is so weird talking about retirement, because when I walked in that door, I didn't see an end in sight. I just thought I'd be here forever.
Do you remember the first day you stepped foot here at KSAT?
Yes, it was overwhelming. I kid you not, we all worked around one table. So I walk in to the newsroom, the old newsroom over there, and it just seemed like a huge cavern to me. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But mostly I was a little intimidated because if you knew Jim Boyle, and of course you knew Jim Boyle, he was very much a straight up kind of news director. But he was so kind to me, you know, and I knew he was rough and gruff when he had to be, but he was so gracious and kind, and he made me feel welcome.
You never wanted to go anywhere else? I mean, I'm sure there was opportunities, but it was always, this was home.
Well, and because I was close to home. My parents were in Laredo. Being an only child, and my parents being up in age, who else could come to them if they needed to? I mean, granted it was Laredo, a 3-hour drive, but at least I was close by that they could pick up the phone, and so that's why. My parents were the primary reason why I stayed.
I found a lot of similarities in our careers. I started in Laredo, you're from Laredo. I'm an only child, you were an only child. I stay here because, you know, my family's close and I want to be close to my parents as well. Did you ever think you were going to be such an inspiration for Latinas in journalism?
I just remember thinking, I wish there were more of us.
Yeah.
And I've seen you just blossom. I've seen so many young, talented Latinas come into our newsroom, and look who's here now.
Yeah.
You know, Patty Santos, Sarah Acosta, those people who are, just to name a few.
Yeah.
Tiffany Huertas, everybody who's here in the next generation. I'm sad to be retiring and saying goodbye to 40 years, but my family of 40 years. But I'm also so excited to know what I leave behind is so hopeful. There's so much promise and talent. And sky's the limit now. I mean, for sure, sky's the limit.
There's a lot of big shoes that we're gonna have to fill, and it's a responsibility that we want to take with pride. And what do you hope, KSAT, how do we push forward?
Never forget that it is a responsibility, that we have to take it seriously. We have to, again, earn that trust. And we earn that trust by, again, being sincere, but also being accurate, being tough when we have to, holding people into account like you have so often. And I think that that's what we should always work towards. Because if we lose sight of that, if we just focus on the process, or we're number one, or this is how we get to be number one, well, don't forget the basics.
What are you going to miss most?
The people of San Antonio, who I've met at their best and at their worst times. I miss them. I'm going to miss them because I've met so many of you. I love you, San Antonio.
Oh, I love that.
We have to get some tissues out here. Woo! We have much more to talk to you about. We're so glad you're with us.
Thank you.
We're going to continue our conversation with Jesse right after the break.
In many ways, she is KSAT. Jesse Deo Yato has been working, I know, with me for 29 years. We've been together. I remember when I first came into the newsroom and she said, "Where are you from again? Why are you in San Antonio?" But I have loved getting to know Jesse, and Jesse has given me, she was one of the early glimpses into what San Antonio was all about for me. And I appreciate that so much. And I hope you know how much I appreciate you and the times we've worked together, whether it's been on the border and I was in McAllen, or I was in Del Rio and you were in McAllen, and even know my neighborhood. You had such a vital role in that. What do you want people to know about Jesse Deo Yato?
That never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be in television news. Thank you very much. When I was at Baylor, majored in journalism, and I was going to be a newspaper journalist.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm never going to be in television. Those TV people are so full of hairspray. What do they know about news? Of course, that was back then, you know.
Yeah.
But as they say never, because you never know. And I got into radio, and, well, newspapers, certainly. I was working for the Laredo Times, and then I worked for the local radio station, and then one of my friends at the radio station got a job in the Valley at KRGV. And he said, "Come on down. My news director wants to hire you." "I've never done television, Bill. Are you sure about this?" He said, "Oh, no. He knows you're a credible journalist. He wants to hire you.
Yeah.
Come on down. Do it for me. Come on." So I went down there, and he hired me on the spot. How about that?
There
the rest
you go.
is history.
Yeah.
When you were in Laredo, was San Antonio seem so far away? I mean, it's 3 hours, but did it seem like a world away?
Oh, no, because I grew up watching KSAT.
Okay.
On cable in Laredo.
Yeah.
And
I remember we were down there when I first started here.
Right, and Don Colson, many of you out there may still remember Don Colson. Don Colson, you know, News 12, whatever he would say at the end, but I would love the way he would say his name, the way he would tag out. And so now what is it that people most remember? Jesse Deo Yato, KSAT 12 News. Say it for me,
Yes,
say it for me again.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. Well, you've set the bar for all of us here. I mean, especially as a woman in this field, you've showed us how compassion plays a huge role in what we do, and, you know, being so in pursuit of the truth, but doing it with humanity at the same time. You've done that so well.
Thank you so
and
much.
It's been an honor for all of us to not only work with you, but to watch and learn from the best.
Myra puts it so well, because you are a professional who leads with your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never been lost on me, and it's one of the most important things I think you've taught me.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I think got that from my parents. My father was always a very compassionate man. He said, "No, never look at that person down there as down there, because you never know when you're going to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So never think you're up here, because you never know when you're going to be down there."
And you always share such positivity. I know, you know, in the newsroom, people don't get to see you like that, but I'll miss down the hall. Hello.
Good morning, sunshine.
You've always that, sunshine. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much. To work with two of the best right here. And the photographers always say, "Why does he always say we're some of the best?" Because you are some of the best. And I feel proud to, again, work with professionals such as yourself. And most of all, San Antonio, I am so proud to have represented you in 40 years. And I value the trust that you put in me. And again, you shared so much of your pain, so much of your joy, especially during the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. So many parents of the fallen were gracious enough to speak to me in the midst of their pain. And so I have seen it a lot. I've seen a lot in my 40 years. But you know what? There hasn't been one day I've regretted being here and doing what I do because of you, the people of San Antonio. And I thank each and every one of you who have been responding on social media, have been sharing all your beautiful thoughts. Thank you so much. And I'm going to miss all of you, but you never know where I might show up. So stay tuned, as we say in this business.
I love it.
That's right.
Thank you,
Jesse.
Thank you so much.
Use a box of tissues.
I know. Our boss brought these out.
Thank you, Mario.
We need them. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Want to take another quick look outside with live cam and get a check of the forecast with Adam.
Those patchy cumulus clouds not developing any showers locally today. They were closer to the coastline, and that's going to be daily. Stray coastal showers, but I don't think any of them will make it into San Antonio. The heat index will play a role. The heat combined with the humidity, 104 to 108, will be the feels-like temperature in the days ahead. And African dusts, light amounts back in the sky by late Friday, early Saturday. 96 in San Antonio tomorrow afternoon, 100 Carrizo Springs, 102 Del Rio, and then it's just copy and paste. Very similar conditions. Mornings in the upper 70s, afternoons in the mid 90s. And we'll see you at 10 o'clock on the Night Beat.